we're not
need to make
any,
changes, yeah.
if we're not seeing any changes in our life, then nothing's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know? All the talk in the world's not going to mean anything unless you're a changer.
A changer. A light bearer example.
And none of their stories are going to help you.
No,
make
they're
the
going to
change.
feed.
You have to do it.
Yep.
Right?
Well, people do it when they've got 6 months to live, don't they? Some of them do. They give up then. They know that they can't survive and they're just going to surrender it to the cosmos. It's one way. It's freaking scary because you haven't got much time. At least we can say we did a lot on the journey.
No, well, but I'm saying the journey begins now.
It does.
It begins right now.
Yeah. I think the only difference between you and me is that when Adam was in the garden, he had a companionship. But you never worried about that much, and I did.
Well, mate.
Still a companionship.
I wasn't in a position to support a family, to support kids.
Yeah.
I wasn't
That's honest.
a good provider. I haven't been able to, because of the way I think.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been a good provider. I couldn't afford to have fucking had kids.
But a lot of people do and they can't afford it.
Yeah, well, I couldn't do that.
Couldn't do that, yeah.
You know, I could see too
You
many
had your
people
integrity.
that had that. You know, and they were stuck. I've got 3 kids to feed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't want that around my neck. If I had kids, I wanted to be able to give them everything.
Yeah.
You know, give them the best possible life they could have. And if I couldn't give them that, and when you get a girlfriend, that's often the result is you end up with a kid.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't take that chance. That was why, mate. There was no other reason.
Couldn't you
take the chance of
couldn't
having
you
kids.
have used contraceptive?
Oh, well, things go wrong.
Wrong, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I've already been through the abortion thing, and that tore me apart.
Yeah.
I wasn't never going to decide I'm never going through that again.
No.
Right? So I had to keep away. What choice did I have? Right? I had no choice.
You didn't have enough money security to make it work anyway.
If I had won the lotto and been able to establish myself in all the businesses that I want to start and everything, I would have met someone, it would have been great.
Would have been
the
right time.
Set a family home and everything, but I haven't been able to do that yet. That's why I haven't done that. I don't know whether that's in my stars or not. You know? But we're talking, see, what we're basically talking about, we're asking ourselves, is the supernatural real or not? Okay? We're asking ourselves, come on, once and for all, is there anything in this supernatural experience, supernatural world, supernatural concept or not? Okay? We've got to ask ourselves that, because at our age, it's time to be asking ourselves that. Right? Now, based on our experiences, our own experiences, okay, we've both had supernatural experiences. So we know that there is a supernatural world. Okay, it's not like just all we've heard about it. We know that for some reason there is a part of us, this persona, that knows that is threatened by, it knows that it will cease to exist. We won't need it once we touched it. Because we have touched it, it knew that we didn't need it when we touched it. It was completely out of the game, okay? Nothing for it to do. So it's totally threatened by anyone going there.
What's threatened?
The persona.
Yeah.
The whole personality thing.
Yeah.
Everything that we've built on top of who we are is threatened by us being who we are.
Wow,
okay?
that's the human nature.
It's totally threatened because it knows it will cease to exist. We won't need it. The only reason it exists is because we thought we needed it to present it to the world, okay, to form the shape of our understanding when we were young, right?
Yeah.
So we created it because we're powerful. We're
But that,
gods.
but that,
We're gods.
yeah, like that.
We created this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
We created it with our power.
In the spirit we are, but not in the flesh, not in the soul.
No, we created our flesh.
Yeah.
What we are right now is our own creation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the position that we're in, our situation,
Yeah.
everything is our own creation. We created it.
Yeah.
We have creative power.
I know.
But the thing is, if
Spiritual
we created
DNA.
this situation, we could create a different situation.
A different for reality.
Exactly. But most people, that's too hard. They don't want to go there, especially at this age. It's over. But I'm not there. We're not talking about that. We're talking about something different. We're talking about a fresh understanding. Right?
And what happens to people who never make this type of journey, never come to this realization, they die? I mean, Buddha even taught you enter into it. You have the imagery of this higher level, and you enter into it, that's the real you, and you let go of all the old you, which is natural man, enemy of God thing. What happens if you go your whole life and you've never touched upon it, you've never entered it, not even care? Where do you end up? You burn? Because that part of you doesn't cease to exist one day?
Yeah, well that's
scary.
above our pay grade.
Yeah.
What happens to them. All I can say is well, good luck to them. I hope I'm not one of them.
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
I hope I'm not one of them. Whatever happens to them, I hope that doesn't happen to me. Wherever they go, I hope I don't go there.
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
Because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Are we going there or not? Because at the moment, that's exactly where we're going. Okay? We've got a whole pile of you and me. At the moment, we're just gum flappers. Okay? Along with all the other millions of gum flappers. But we're just flapping to each other. Okay? Because we're trying to learn. We don't think we know, whereas most gum flappers think they know.
I think they know, yeah.
Whereas this is a bit different. We don't think we know. We're trying to learn. Right? So we're humble and we're grateful. Right? So we've got that.
Few fruits. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we don't know, we know nothing. But we're trying to be something.
Yeah.
Alright?
Gotcha.
So
Wow.
we have to learn what we need to get rid of, what we need to undo to be what we already are, to be what we really are.
Undo.
And this is where it comes back around before to awareness. Alright? Now, the teachers, when they talk about awareness, they really mean it. They say that every action, everything we do we should be totally aware and totally in the spirit of the moment. You know what we're talking about, the special moment?
Yes, seize the moment.
So the moment with the open arms,
yeah,
needs to be aware that every moment has its arms open. Even and they often use mundane examples like washing the dishes or sweeping the floor or something. Say in those moments, you've got to find the special. You've got to find the arm open moment that's there for you in washing the dishes. Okay? That specialness that's there for you in every moment that you're walking past because you're doing something like you're washing the dishes, so you're missing it. And they're saying that there is something for you while you're washing the dishes. There's something for us in every moment. These are the teachers, the ones at the end of their journey, right? They'll tell you things like this. Okay? So, they'll say that, yeah, it's in there. It's what we're saying, right? That it is in every moment, but we walk past on it. They want us to just be aware of that. And that everything we do, and that's reflected in the Bible too, every word, thought and deed, must conform to the word of God sort of thing. It's constant. Alright? Now, it gets easier, but from where you and I are right now, to start, it's a struggle. And it's hard. And this is one of the good things about YouTube, is that it has shared the story of a lot of other sincere people. A lot of sincere people put stuff on YouTube. And they've shared that yes, it is a struggle. It is hard. Your body is going to react and reject. It's going to hate you for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Threaten. So we've got to expect that. So when it starts to kick, we can take control and say, we can step back and say, it doesn't stop the kicking, but it stops us thinking, I have to be kicked. Now we can step back and think, okay, the body's kicking, but I understand this is just the ego kicking.
Wow.
This is not me. This is just the ego dying, but it's going to get better. If I just grit my teeth, I'll get through this.
Whoa, yeah.
That's what we need.
Wow.
Okay?
That's pretty profound.
That's what we need. Because enough people have shared that it is, and this will most, and they say most people fail at the struggle.
So, what is the punishment for people that live in the ego all their life and do all these
Well, they never get to be what they're supposed to be.
And what happens hereafter? You don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter. That's no concern of yours. You just don't want to be one of them.
See, Neil Donald Walsh, the Conversations with Guidebooks bestseller, he said that what we create, the negative polarity, same with your scenes teachers, you enter into it and you actually create your own hell because of your own negativity, your hatred and all this. Never stop to help the homeless or something. And that'll burn until it's cooked up to doesn't exist.
So,
but where do your spirit go?
Well,
are you forgiven?
If you know that then stop. At the moment that you read that, that's when you stop doing that and start doing something different.
Yeah.
Nothing is written in stone. And this is where the whole quantum thing comes into it. Okay?
Yeah.
It's a field of potentials. Okay, all potentials. Nothing is formed. Nothing is solid. Not even the atoms aren't even solid. Nothing is solid. It's all energy.
Well, again in the book it said that when we create this maniac, egotistical, even spiritual ego, it could be 1,000 years of that identity trapped in another time.
I told you what I thought of Neil Walsh, okay?
Yeah.
Now you've got to be, I said he's a gum flapper.
Yep.
All right? And like a lot of them, okay? They've got a little bit of understanding and they're off, okay?
Yeah.
Well, these are the
Hitler's going to be forgiven.
These are the people that I talk about. We don't need them in this room right now.
No.
For fuck's sake, keeping those people out of it. You always like to bring them in, right? They know shit.
Yeah.
They've seen something. We've seen something. But we're not ready to tell the world about the tiny little bit that we've seen. We understand that there's more, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just, like, the world is full of those people that just go off half-baked. Right, and that's why we still end up with all the homeless people, because
it doesn't fix it, does it?
It hasn't fixed anything.
No.
That's why I want you to keep them out of these conversations.
It doesn't fix it. No.
That's why you get.
Does nothing.
They let them in this room when we're having these chats. It spoils. It brings the whole thing down because they're a bad energy. They're sludge boy driven.
Even if they're white light.
Yeah, because Satan can appear as an angel.
Yeah.
Okay? So, you don't want them in these conversations.
Right. Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
They're too...
Because it's like everybody gets cleared of guilt. Even if you're a murderer, you get cleared of this guilt because you're really a spirit of light. And when you die, you one part of you go and burn, while the other part watches you burn. That's the idiot, that Neil Donald Walsh. You're watching yourself. You're sitting back saying, well, I was never a bad person in the first place, but you was the bad person, Hitler. But me, this Hitler, I'm in heaven, you're in hell. That's crazy stuff.
I listen to these people and I just think, what the fuck do you know?
Yeah.
Just shut up.
Yeah. And making millions of dollars.
Meditate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Big house, fancy, everything.
If there was one, see that,
You're right.
if there was just one person who broke through, we'd know about it. He would make sure that they would make sure that people knew about it. They'd make sure of it. You
Only
know what
one
I mean?
person did
the light
that.
would be so bright.
Yeah. Only Jesus did that. Only
Yeah,
Jesus.
but he said greater things than these you will do.
Yeah.
But no one's doing it.
Not one person.
Not one person. If there was, the light would be so bright, everyone in the world would be able to see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
like
saying?
Enoch was one of them.
Yeah, something like that. But I don't have those people.
Why?
They're not there. But this conversation between you and me is to keep alive the idea that we could attain to that the message is still there for everybody, that is available for everybody. But we have to work out why no one is doing it. Because the message has always been that it's available and it's right here. There's nowhere to go, nothing to get, nothing to find. Okay? There's just all this stuff to lose. And I suppose that's the answer. This thing that we've created, because we are such powerful creators, we have created such a shell and given it life, right? A bit like, when Sludge Boy got tricked into into breathing. Okay.
That's it. I was thinking of that.
Because it's the creative power that came from his mother.
The first Adam, Sophia, the
it
first.
wasn't Sludge Boy's power that created. It was the power of his mother.
Sophia.
But not him. He was an abortion. He had no power of himself.
And created by the first woman archangel in the void, she was. So.
Yeah, the creative angel.
Yep.
So it was because of who his mother was, why he was able to create. Not because of who he was.
Wow.
He had no power.
That's Gnostic teachings.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But it was his mother's power in the Gnostic.
That's the first Adam, yeah.
So that's the kind of power that we have.
Yeah.
Sophia's power. We have that. Okay? We can create. And we have created this shell of personality that is so well made, and we've given it life, and it doesn't want to die. Alright? We need to understand this. This is not us. God didn't create these beings to sit broken, lonely and flat and asleep outside railway stations and stuff. That wasn't the grand dream. Supposed to be walking in the garden, going along the streams of crystal water and rainbows and unicorns and everything, right? Not this.
Yeah.
This is not it.
Sludge pool, sludge boy,
This
Satan.
is not the garden.
No.
Right? But what was in the garden is still here, except the garden isn't here. But we're still here. So the same creature that was in the garden with God is still here. But the garden is gone. Right? From within us. But we can bring ourselves back to the garden.
Back to Eden. Yeah.
Back to Eden. Okay? And I think that's been the message. Alright? That we're supposed to be in the garden. But the church told us that we're not allowed to be in the garden until sometime in the future when Jesus comes back. But until then, we're locked out of the garden.
Yeah,
right?
separation.
That's what the church wants
Sin consciousness, separation consciousness, yep.
Yeah. Well, just a time frame, just a logical time frame. And,
Yep.
you know, on the years.
An answer to me, answer to the
priests,
priests, prophets, popes.
Seen so many charts and time scales.
Yep.
Of Revelation, Daniel, Isaiah, right. So on that physical plane, the thousands of years of mapping, right? And what good has it done them? How many so-called human announced prophecies and timelines have just collapsed and gone? And just moved on. How many? You know, there are going to be more. So it hasn't done them any good. They just get over it, and then and the next person comes like, okay, well, it's been long enough. They've forgotten about that one now. I'm going to make a new one now and see what I can get out.
I know.
And the other one did pretty good. He's on all these books. So I'm going to have a go.
They really need to shut up. Yeah.
You know,
stop the gum flapping.
Well, in this world, you've got to have money. You know, so, if I sell many books, I get money. Then I'm safe. You know what I mean? I'll have money.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, no one does it for nothing, do they?
Well, because in this world, you have to have.
And you wrote a book on Amazon, big guide, little guide, and you're charging like $8 when it could be worth $100. One of the best books I've ever heard.
I don't think anyone bought it.
That's correct, because maybe it's too cheap. You undersold yourself. Maybe you should put the price up and let people know it's a very good book.
You have to have a reader to get it. It's not paperback.
Yeah.
It's a reader.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just that it happens. Obviously, if God wants people to start reading it, they'll start reading it. It's out there. So I expect that with him.
They'll probably buy a more expensive book, thinking that's got to be better.
No, if God wants people to read it, he'll inspire them to start buying it.
Yeah.
I'm quite okay with that. See,
this is
the
out
whole
there.
thing about what we have to lose. And we have to lose our expectations on the future. Because if we've got every second we're spending in the future robbing us from the past.
Oh, that's so true, isn't it?
From this moment with its open arms. That's why we're walking past it. Because we're looking into the future, walking right past the moment with its open arms. And we might not even get that future, probably not. We might even die, you know? And it might just be a fantasy. And you're walking past the moment because of a fantasy.
Oh my goodness.
And you're missing the real reality.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
And you and I, okay, a lot of people could read a book and have this conversation and have this discussion because they've read a book, but you and I don't, and if that's all they've got, they don't get it. They've got no. But you and I, we've done more than read a book. We've actually touched something bigger. We're one of the few people who have actually touched something.
Yeah.
I just understood right then. That's why you and I relate so well.
Yeah, well,
because of that.
Two names, same name, Daryl.
But no, because of
accident, angel experience. Yeah, it's just amazing, mate.
Because of what we've touched. We've both touched the supernatural. That's what we've got in common. Okay? And that's why we can have these conversations to relate, because we recognise in the words something that we've both seen. If it was one person who'd seen something and someone who'd just read a book, they couldn't have the same conversation, right?
No.
Or two people who have just read a book, they can have the same conversation. But one person who just read the book and the other person who'd actually had an experience, they couldn't have the same conversation, right? But two people that have actually had the experience, they can have a special conversation. We can have conversations that most people have just read books and they talk and So that's most of the world, right? But a few people like you and I have had supernatural experiences and it changes them. And then when they have a conversation, they can talk about something that the book readers got no idea about. Just can't even go there, right? Because they've never been there. They just, go, what are you talking about, right? They just got no idea, right? But you and I, when we have conversations, we can talk about real deep, sacred, supernatural stuff, right? Because we're two people that were given a particular experience for some reason, and here we are, we're still having these conversations, right? And the whole idea of the bus trip is just getting better and better in my mind, bigger and bigger in my mind, and it's making me want to prepare for it, to clean myself up, to put my good clothes on and get ready, like I'm going on a bus trip, internally, do a clean up internally, get ready for the bus trip, get my good clothes on inside.
Yeah, exactly.
Clean up.
I've got I've stopped preaching mainly. Every now and then I do, but I've had a gutful of it. I just do the music. I've got 2 subscribers named Michelle Fields and Michelle Johnson. They're top subscribers. And the last thing, I think it was Michelle Fields, she turned around and she says, Daryl, Papa Daryl, she calls me, just live your fucking lives. Have a smoke and enjoy life, but just put God first, and then enjoy life. You said, we choose God first, so why not enjoy a fucking smoke? That's how she speaks. She has a smoke, She loves coming on my channel. She sits with a coffee and a smoke and listen to me. She said, basically, don't get all Yeah, I started smoking on my channel. I got more views. People were like, oh, grab a coffee, grab a popcorn. It's entertainment. I call myself Daryl Kirky's Show. It's become Daryl Kirky's Show. And I even admit that it's entertainment, but I am preaching wisdoms, and I don't know everything, but I do know what love is on the spirit level, but not in the soul. And Michelle Field loves me. She actually writes to me personally every now and then. She's American, and she's just come out of a nasty narcissist divorce. She doesn't want anyone. She loves Jesus. But she sits and smokes and listens, and she's praising me every comment. She leaves a comment, and the other one's Michelle Johnson, 2 Michelles. And she says, what you're preaching is just the most amazing, because you've just detached from all the gum-flapping ones who think they know it all, sanctified. And I admit, I said, I don't know everything, Michelle, but I do know one thing. I care about people. And I even mentioned you at one stage. My mate Zach, he cares about the homeless. But no one gives a fuck about him. But he cares about everybody. He's connected. See, but do I do much good in this world? I don't know, mate. But I know I've got 20,000 people, viewers, that follow me. That's it. Not a million. I don't care about numbers, but they support me. And they love the music too. So sometimes it's worth it. I've done videos. I've got 3,500 and less and more. But I sometimes look back and think, what have I even preached?
You made any money yet?
Nah. No, I'm not. Not about that at all. I'm trying to offload all this religiosity bullshit and the harm and the damage it's done to me. And I went to proletarianism, as you know, and I've given that up as well. That lunatic bloody went against the red letters and brought in, I don't know, Apostle Paul. Then I went to the Essenes. I've been in Essenes and then Gnostics. It's basically similar, a little bit different. Where the Gnostics believe in a demiurge, Satan and the Essenes believe that we are it. We are the devil. We're creating most of it. We're the evil. We're doing it. But the Gnostics say there's literally a devil, so there's a bit of a difference there. But they both believe in this reincarnation, power of creation.
Well, what you and I can take out of this is that, okay, this, I'll have one more go then.
I'll have one more smoke. But...
Can I have one more?
Yeah, sure, mate, sure. Oh, do you want a rollie? I've got rollies. You can make a big... give me a roll. I've got rollies, mate. Yeah, because I've only got a few left.
Yeah, sure.
Plenty of rollies,
Yeah,
mate.
don't worry. Oh, okay, yeah.
I should have been giving you that, but then again, you give me.
Yeah, I only brought 4 with me. I didn't. Just we're having such a good conversation.
Yeah,
I'll be gone
powerful.
by now, that's all.
Powerful.
Yeah. One thing that.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, keep going.
See, this is with the papers and the.
Oh, yep, papers
and filter.
and filters. There you go, brother.
See, we need, you and I need today in this room right now, at this moment, we need information that's relevant to you and I right now. It wasn't relevant to the Essene back then, okay?
That's true.
But right now, today, in this moment,
Yeah.
you and I need information.
We're two more go, though.
That is relevant to us, okay? That we can...
Good point.
We can take to the bank and cause the change.
Yeah.
It's got to be a change, all right? It's
Yeah.
going to happen. Now, it's going to be hard or it's going to be easy. It could be easy. Most times it's hard. Some people get an easy one. Most people don't, okay? So I'm just thinking it's going to be hard. But, so what we can take out is that, okay, we are so powerful that we have created this incredible persona, okay, to this soul vehicle to travel in.
Good point.
Okay? We've created the soul vehicle.
Yep.
And Sludge Boy's got control of it.
Satan. Yeah.
Sludge Boy.
Yeah.
Got control of it.
Yeah.
Alright?
Yeah.
Because the Prince of the Air and he's got the whole universe.
And the ego.
But he hasn't got control of what's inside it because it's not his power that animated it. That was he thought if he could get it to move,
Yeah.
he could have a little army of robots.
First Adam.
Okay?
Yeah.
But the trick was by getting him to breathe on it, he breathed his mother into it. Okay, and that's why it never turned out to be what he wanted it to be. He couldn't control it. That's why he tried to destroy it.
Yeah.
Right? Because it wouldn't do what he wanted it to do. To have this all be, like worship him as the God.
Exactly. And then the second Adam, Lord God, the divinity right there in his name, Yeshua, breathed in and became a living soul. That was the second Adam.
Well, don't confuse things. Just in the Gnostic story, there's
the first
one,
Adam.
Okay, just what the data supports is that if it had been his own power, it would have been that made it move. It would have been a different story.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because it wasn't his dream anyway. So he couldn't make it move. So it wasn't his power.
Bit of a zombie
that
thing.
Made it. He
Like a robot.
He didn't have any life-giving power in it. He couldn't make it move. He couldn't create to that degree.
Well, it moved, but it was like a robot.
No, it wouldn't move.
Didn't he bring to life the first Adam?
And
they multiply, replenish, had kids, and all shit went on. Where evolution is a half right, all that history, Hercules, all that, horses with human heads, the fallen angels had sex with humans, it all come through that. He got it to move, but it was a robot type of thing. The same with Noah's flood. God repented over made man. They weren't even fucking human, most of it.
It's like
They looked very strange. I saw YouTube on it. They were very strange.
Listen,
They moved, but not much. Very well. Robots.
what you've got is ideas of trying to work it out, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not, it's just, and sort of getting comfortable with some sort of idea, but I'm not going there. I'm not getting comfortable with, this is how it was.
Yeah, right.
Not at all. Okay, I'm the last one to go there, right? But I can present the data in a less emotional way than you.
Yeah, true.
You tend to grab a couple of bits and then you're off. Okay, whereas I just, I don't go there. So, but I am trying to learn. All right. So what are the clues? What are the footprints? Okay, 2 seeds.
2 seeds.
So it could be that the first batch didn't move after he breathed on them, and then he realised it didn't work. What he wanted didn't work, so he made a whole pile of others that didn't need spirits.
Including some of the bad aliens, the species. That's another allegory. And then the fallen angels came down and all that messed up. Yeah.
Can't be sure.
Millions of years.
Okay, the dangerous territory with the gum flappers isn't all of a sudden they start saying, and this is what happened. And that just ruins everything. You can't learn anything. If you know what happened, then there's nothing to learn, is there?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay?
That's true.
You might as well talk about something else because you already know. Oh, they know it. They were there 1,000 years ago. They know exactly what happened. Right? So that's why it's hard. One of the few people who like to have this conversation that can actually join me there on the not knowing, but just on because the real wisdom that we need is not in the world. It's going to come from outside the universe, right? That's the real stuff.
Yeah.
The real stuff. So, and it's not going to come until we're prepared to receive it. And conversations like this are one little way of furrowing the ground, making a bit of a furrow, putting in a seed. It's some sort of effort to prepare the ground for some wisdom to come through, because anyone who says they know and this is how it was, that's not wisdom. Wise people don't say that. Wise people say they don't know. Right?
Yeah. Well, what about the data from the Sumerian texts that said the first Adam thing? They called it the powerful ones, the sky people, the aliens came through that first breath. The whole thing, alien civilization, came through that first Adam.
I've got this king that's going back.
Yeah. Nothing to do with our Adam, 6,000 years ago. And the people that drink the baby's blood and all these of the other seed, they're literally born through the other seed. They're here today, the shapeshifters and everything. And that's why we shouldn't envy or covet them. They're in that position because they were never one of his.
So what are the dots on the board? The dots are that according to the Bible, all right?
Yeah.
The dots are that we were not supposed to be exposed to that whole Sumerian, Mesopotamian mindset.
Anunnaki.
For some reason, get out of there.
Right.
For some reason, Abraham, get out of there. We don't know why. They had law, they had civilization, they had hot water.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They had a city.
And God turned his back on Egypt and all of that history. Abraham started over again.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All its monuments and building and everything and all it. No.
Anti-aging, the works.
Get out of there.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is,
Come.
all right, okay, this is where
we become primitive.
You've got to try to think, who wanted us to get out of Mesopotamia and Egypt?
Wow.
Was it God or Sludge Boy?
Or Sludge Boy, Satan.
You know,
Wow.
so, now, this is where it's hard to talk to people, because we're saying we don't know, but that's blasphemy to any Christian. You know, to suggest that it could have been any other way. That's blasphemy. I can't talk to you. That's blasphemy. Satan, you know.
Yeah.
So, it's like, just, but this is where this is the clash that the whole gnostic
completely
gospel has
opposite.
created. Before 1945, before they found the Nag Hammadi scrolls, this argument wasn't in the world, okay, that this could have been going on. But since then, it's like the first time that people read the Bible. Now all of a sudden, it's like the Bible's being found again for the first time. So now there's two of them out there, you know, the ancient scrolls, ancient teachings. Now there's two of them.
Yeah.
Okay, whereas before 1945 there was only one.
Dead Sea Scrolls, all that.
Yeah,
That's more towards the scenes teachings.
Yeah, well, towards more backing up the Old Testament.
And it said that God never commanded murder and bloodshed of his own son for its sacrifice. Jesus volunteered. It was never about murder and bloodshed.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. So this is why there is an argument for who wanted us to come out of Mesopotamia, who wanted us to come out of Egypt, who would have had something to lose by us staying in those places.
And Jesus taught to the Essenes, he didn't come for our righteousness, he came to awaken us to enter into his, of course.
And also, all those people in Mesopotamia and Egypt, well,
they had love.
Were they all the other seed? Because if not, what about them? They
had married, love-making, children. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
3,000 years.
What about them?
Yeah.
You know?
Why would it go for 3,000 years? And because they didn't turn to Yeshua, they turned to false gods or something, so God destroyed it. But for 3,000 years, they had their act together. They had help from pyramids and aliens and 50-foot giants and everything going on. They had electricity, they had irrigation, they had it better than we have it today.
Yeah, they probably didn't have this money thing going on.
Yeah.
It was just everyone did what was needed.
Must have been an amazing kingdom.
Everyone knew that they had to do this
to
make it all happen, and everyone had their little job.
And they laughed, they cried.
And they didn't pay rent and tax and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
And they had their nice little house, and everyone helped each other, and you know.
Yeah.
And they all had their own abilities and tasks, craftsmen, labourers.
Everything. I know. And we got back to Abraham.
They had law.
They had law.
They had law. Statutes of law. Judges.
Yeah, the Romans messed it up.
For some reason,
Roman Empire.
No, get out of there.
Even Roman.
See, one thing they did have was this complete history of the Anunnaki kings. There's kings list that goes back 100,000 years.
Yeah.
You see, that doesn't agree at all with...
No, the 6,000 years.
We're supposed to be 9,000 years ago, we're still hunter-gatherers.
Yeah.
Where they've got kings lists going back, 100,000 years.
Yeah.
Written in stone.
Written in stone, I know.
So...
Yeah.
That was a whole civilization with a history and everything. And for some reason, the God of the Bible said, no, you're not to have any part of that. That's not what is going on. For some reason, the God of the Bible said that. Okay? Took us out of that established civilization for some reason. And then into Egypt, into another established civilization.
Yep.
No, you're not having any part of that. You're going to do something different. You're going to become the Jews.
Wow.
So we need to. These are the. I'll go right before God with these questions. These are the questions that he knows I have. I don't make any qualms about it. He knows.
I can hear the trumpet sounding. Step up to the mark, Mr. Zach, Brother Zach, or, step up to the mark. Have your say to the creator of the universe.
No, he knows these are my questions.
Yeah.
I'm not, and so I'm the last person to start preaching because I'm not even sure about the Old Testament. But I saw this video from this girl talking about how she's saying there's no way that there is a pre-tribulation rapture or something. Okay, she said, because that's just a whole lot of nonsense. And she finished it off when she said, if you're not prepared to die for your God, then what kind of God are you serving?
Yeah.
The way she said it,
Yeah.
And I just thought, what's this stuff? So I made a comment saying, we're going to be killed during the tribulation. That's right, of course. But one of the few people that sees that.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be prepared to die for your God, who are you? What are you? What's your belief? What's your God word?
Exactly.
You want to just escape, leave everyone else to die while you float off.
Yeah. Exactly.
One of the first people to say it, and she said it with such, at the end she said, what kind of God are you serving? When she said it, real intense, like Mary Magdalene would say, speaking to the disciples, just like that. You hear the fire of the Spirit in there. If you're not prepared to die for your God, and that's what I always say, erase you to the block. So it would be such an honour, because the ones that get killed during the tribulation, they get to reign.
And they get to govern for 1,000 years. And the ones sippy cup.
To fix the world.
And if there's any sippy cup Christians taken up, it's because they're weak as piss. And God spared them if that was the case.
No, it's not your heart, it's
tribulation.
It says that.
And
this is the
3/3 of the population wiped out. We're all going to have to face it.
And 666.
Yeah. Exactly.
The way she said it, I couldn't agree with you.
We'll face it. If we're still here, then.
So all this stuff that we've been talking about here, it's got substance. Other people are starting to say the same thing, starting to see the younger people starting to do the same thing because it's truth. Right? They're starting to see it.
Yeah.
I had to be thrown against the Land Rover at 100 miles an hour and have my voice smashed to get a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
Right. So, but it's true. It doesn't change. And old people, young people can see the same truth. Because, when they see it, it's the same thing. They understand. An old person and a young person, they finally see truth, both understand perfectly what it is.
Yep.
And the young people, of course, they're not over this, like the remnant, all the people still coming through, being born. But for you and I, it's the growth spurt obviously is going to have to be divine. It's not coming from us. It can only ever come through us. But we have to be able to receive it. We have to be ready to receive it. You don't put the new wine in old bottles. Okay?
Yeah.
Break them. It's basically what we're talking about now. Okay? So we've got to clean the bottle.
Yeah.
Right. So, we're going to have a nice new. We're going to clean the bottle. But at least we're aware of it. At least we know that, right? And we've got the understanding that this thing that we are right now is not who we really are.
No.
Okay? And we've got to start having small victories over it.
Yeah.
we know what those little victories are. I don't need to tell you what little victories you need to make. You know what they are, and I need to know what. We're going to start making them. I can get going, but I didn't tell you about the.
All right, mate. Well, thank you so much for your visit.
That was fun. I enjoyed